Despite the fact that the media and Amazon did everything they could to protect this series from removing reviews on Amazon, changing reviews on Amazon-owned IMDb, and of course, blaming fans all the way, it didn't get received very well. In fact, most people did not like Lord of the Rings of Power. It was so bad that only 37% of people finished it here in the United States. To put that in perspective, anytime a streaming series has a less than 50% retention rate to the end of the series, they usually just fucking straight up cancel it. But you can't do that when it's the most expensive series of all time and you've already dedicated a lot more money to it. But I guess they didn't learn their lesson, Jeremy, because one of the first things they're doing as they're wrapping up season 2 is going right back to the well. Rings of Power stars slam racist trolls who oppose diverse castings.
I'm all here for it. Please continue to label me and all of my friends racist and sexist. It will not work. We will continue to monetize your stupidity. We will continue to destroy you. I, for one, am happy that he's doing this. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like they've learned nothing. This is what they did. This is the only tactic they had to try to stop the backlash last time. Even 6 months before it came out, for the writers, the showrunners, producers come out and say that it's all just racism. That's why they don't like this. Nothing about breaking Tolkien's lore, nothing about bastardizing all this shit from Middle Earth, despite the fact that there are black characters or there are people of color that they could have used, but they didn't want to. They wanted to change all these different races and they wanted to change Tolkien's world inherently. Now the actors are saying the exact same thing. I mean, it's infuriating. Actor Owain Arthur told Variety, Arthur plays Dwarven Prince Durin in the series. Like, you go, oh God, really? Are we still here as a human race? That drives me wild. The guys have been through a lot to be on the receiving end of things. And I hope one day we will, as a human race, just be one. I mean, it kind of sounds pathetic or dramatic what I'm saying here, but genuinely, just stop racism. Just stop, guys. Just stop.
Stop. Hey, racist people out there. I know you're going to read this article. And honestly, I've already had it confirmed by multiple sources, Ryan, that there's at least 12 to 15 people that were racist that actually stopped the moment they read this.
The funny thing is,
it's having a really big impact right now.
As much as this was like the headline immediately when you saw the castings, because, oh shit, they completely went contrary to Tolkien's lore. There was definitely a lot of backlash about that. But by the time the show actually got going, people were complaining about 10 things more, like worse than just these casting decisions. But it all stems from the agenda that was at play. It starts with identity politics and it ends with identity politics. That's the problem in the writer's room, behind the camera, in front of the camera, all this shit. That was just the first indication so many people had. But by the time the show actually got going, one of the characters who was bashed the most was Galadriel. She happens to be white and she stayed white, but was just nothing like her characters described. That's why people had a fucking problem with it.
Yep.
Another one, actor Cynthia Day Robinson commented on her wish to move past the trolls as the show inches forward. What I'm looking forward to as we move on to season 2 is allowing that conversation to be in the past and just plow ahead. When you have progress, it's like we're not going to go backwards from things we've established. I'm ready to acknowledge it and move on from it because I think we've said all there is to say. I know that I have. I'm sure this is the last time you'll talk about it.
I'm sure this is it right here.
You even had the Black Elf Arondir, Ishmael Cruz Cordova, come out and say, my PayPal got hacked, my bank account got hacked, they sent me death threats, like all this shit. And it's like, no evidence, no proof, like not actually showing anything, just a lot of claims.
After they hacked his PayPal, they said this is MAGA country. So it did happen, Ryan. So I don't appreciate
hacked his account and they donated to Donald Trump or something. Yeah. That's what happened. A literal racist troll.
That's still funny about the just stop racism. Just stop it, guys. If you would just stop being racist, that's all you have to do, okay? Just stop.
We'll see if the same exact tactic that they used for season 1, blaming fans, we'll see if that works for another failure for season 2, I guess.
Notice how we have not heard about the monumental success of this show since that first episode. That first episode, it got a ton of views because there was a massive level of interest just to kind of see what this was, like a lot of this stuff. It didn't sustain viewership. There's no discussion of how popular it was and how well received it was because it wasn't popular and it wasn't well received. No one liked it. This is what happens when you hire social justice activists. They're just going to continue to double and triple down on their victim mentality, and we, the fans, are going to continue to laugh at them.
Well, the thing is, they got basically beat in ratings in a lot of ways by House of the Dragon, which is airing directly opposite of it. And that was just when you look at streaming. HBO also was simulcasting to fucking millions and millions of people on their cable channel.
Mhm.
So in reality, they got demolished by something that was still expensive. House of the Dragon season 1 cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 million to produce. That's a very expensive TV series. It's nothing compared to Rings of Power. You're talking about $1 billion for 2 seasons of this thing, probably even more, since they basically just threw away all the old sets and had to rebuild them. So it's a nightmare scenario for Amazon. It needed to be a global, worldwide phenomenon. That's what they said, and that's not what it was.